You get sympathy when you complain, for sure. You get sympathy from people. Woe is me. Oh man, that sucks. Do you know what you get when you don't complain? Admiration. So much better than sympathy, by the way. It feels so much better. When you have something hard happen to you and somebody asks you how your day's going and you tell it to them in a realistic manner, you don't go, oh yeah, it's been so hard lately. You just say, oh yeah, I've been dealing with A, B, and C. And they go, oh fuck, man, that sucks. And you don't go, oh yeah, I know. You go, it just is what it is. Like, I'm dealing with it and it's no big deal, and I'll move forward and just do the best with what I can do. There's a couple of things that you do. The first thing you do is you show that person that that's possible. It is possible to have these things happen to you and not completely crumble. To keep your fucking serenity. Keep your foundation strong and tight. Stay where you need to be. The other thing you get is the person goes, wow, that's crazy. You can deal with these things and like it just doesn't seem like they affect you. I would always pick that admiration for toughness over that fleeting aroma of sympathy of like, oh man, if they only understood how hard everything was for me right now. There's something else I wanted to make completely clear too. These things are all on a continuum. Does that make sense? I'm not speaking completely rigidly. I'm laying rigid guidelines because that's what you operate within. I'm not saying, wow, if you don't do all these things 100% of the time, you're a piece of shit. What I'm saying is this is the ideal. This is the fucking antithesis of the ideal. This is the ultimate worst case scenario over here. When you know those frames, you can start to auto-correct yourself when you get out of balance. You're still going to make these mistakes. Like some of these gems, like they don't mean, oh wow, you should be perfect. You should be Jesus now. I've told you all the things. A big part of this message is you are human. Your humanness will make you fucking fall short. That's just how it is. That's why you hear these things like forget, remember, forget, remember, forget, remember. That was from Jeff Warren. That's the exact same modern frame on what Marcus Aurelius said in the year 100, which is straight, not straightened. You keep straightening yourself and trying to push yourself and walk straight. You'll never be done. You don't get kinked up and then everything stops and now you just give up because you've hit your maximum enlightened potential. That will never happen. You keep shifting and shifting and shifting and shifting and learning and growing. And that learning and growing and that dynamic flexibility to be a part of it is called life. That's your life. And you will get as close to this ideal scenario as you can possibly get if you keep listening to all the messages and jumping all the hurdles. If you do none of that, you will end up in a pit of despair. Your life will look like a tragedy. It just will. It just will. So we're not saying to be perfect all the time. Marcus Aurelius said, losers complain without suffering and winners suffer without complaining, right? Again, that's a frame. That's duality. That's a continuum. He basically was talking about victim mindset versus victor mindset. Over 2,000 years ago. Simple shit. Real simple. But what he wasn't saying was, you must never complain ever, no matter what has happened to you in your life. And if you have complained ever, you fucked up. Now you should be ashamed of yourself and guilty. He's putting these extremist boundaries out so that now you have somewhere to fucking aim. I heard that quote a long time ago. Do you think that there aren't times in my life where I fucking complain without real suffering? I absolutely still do that. I'm still judgmental. I'm still fucking negative and harsh on people sometimes from a, not maybe like the most compassionate frame with my employees and everything. Yeah, that still happens. And every time it happens, I go, ooh, see, I didn't use that quote properly. And I get one step closer to it happening less. Does that make sense? You guys start hearing all this information and you're like, think it's all like Messiah complex forward. It's like, no, man, it's a fucking frame. It's a guideline. It's a fucking target. That's it. Get as close to it as possible. No one's telling you to be perfect. I'm not telling you to be perfect. I'm not perfect. I set out to be the best man that I could possibly be. What does that require me to do? That requires me to continuously analyze my shortcomings and hope that I can turn them into fucking wins and victories. Hopefully I can see my shortcomings and I can ratchet those areas up whilst keeping my strengths and skill sets as high up as they possibly can. Why would that be the goal? Why would that be the endeavor? First off, it's the only fucking commendable, like, real endeavor that exists. It's the only one that makes any fucking sense to play. The only game to play is the game of you. It doesn't make sense to play anything else. It's so weird. You guys are all fucking spectators. I can barely even spectate shit anymore. I just want to fucking get out there. I go to a goddamn NFL football game and I'm like, man, I wish I weighed 250 because I'd be out there fucking clobbering fucking helmets right now. I just want to do the thing. I'm like, man, I wish I was doing something right now. That's fucking badass. I wish that was me. I wish I was out there on the field. You guys like spectating so fucking much because it's distraction from fucking all the shit that you don't do, that you need to do. That's basically what all that is. Just understand, admiration for your resilience will always fucking trump the fleeting aroma of sympathy you get from somebody commiserating with you for a small period of time. It just will. I talked about this just recently too. I'm not talking about getting support. Getting support from someone doesn't sound like just complaining. That's not what that sounds like. Think about it. Getting support means saying to somebody, hey man, I've really been struggling lately with a couple of things, comma, could you help me with one of them? I know that you have a different perspective on this. Maybe you could talk to me for a second, or I'm having a hard time with this decision. Is there any way I could talk it out with you and you could help me kind of, make a better scenario out of that? That's much different than complaining. Complaining is, well, like all these things aren't nothing's working out for me. And, I have all these things and it's just really making it to where I can't do the stuff that I need to do. And, it just is. And it's so shitty and this sucks and this sucks and this sucks and this sucks. And then the person listens and listens and listens. And you never say, but it's going to be all good. I got a plan to make some things happen. Or, man, what do you think I should do? Like, what would you do? Or, hey, this thing's fucking me up a little bit. Is there any way I could get your help on this thing? Can I mod my schedule, boss? Is there any way I could do some extra shifts and make it to where this thing actually works out a little bit easier for me? What do you think? So it's very different, complaining and asking for support. So not perfection, striving to listen to your own soul enough that you actually even have a place to aim, and then constantly making micro adjustments like a pilot would do, trying to get as close as you can to that destination. That's it. So just work on that.